Now I'm just doing the right.
Please come in. Come as close to the front as possible. Welcome, welcome. Careful as you sit down. There are stickers on the chairs. We'll need those momentarily. So some of you might be sitting on some colorful stickers. Pull those out. All right. So we'd like to use our time as productively as possible today, so we'll get started. My name is Dominic Stucker. I'm on the Commission for Education and Communication Steering Committee, the outgoing one. And I've had the pleasure of working with numerous young and senior people on promoting youth engagement and intergenerational partnership, both within and now more and more through the union, through the IUCN. We have CEC outgoing chair Keith Wheeler, as well as outgoing councillor Grace Muaura, to offer us a welcome, and then we'll jump into the program. So I'll hand it over to Grace and Keith for a welcome.
Well, thank you. It's a real pleasure to be here. First, I really want to extend a very sincere thanks to both Dominic and Grace for taking the leadership over the last 4 years for the whole youth involvement, youth engagement, and intergenerational partnerships within IUCN. If it wasn't for the energy of these two folks and many of you in the audience to work for this, it probably would not have happened. You know, I've been so impressed, and as I've thought of the accomplishments that CEC has done, and I have participated in the last 4 years, that have influenced IUCN, I think this is the #1 issue in all of the issues that will have a lasting legacy for IUCN. It's extremely needed. As I said at the CEC Steering Committee meeting, that if you take a look at the leadership, without the exception of Grace, and at council, everyone has gray hair or no hair, like myself. and that's not healthy for an organization in the 21st century. It never has been healthy for organizations, but especially in the 21st century. As we look at the problems, the issues, and where the solutions lie, it's going to take all of us to achieve the changes that we need in the world to turn this ship around. And frankly, the tools and the way that you as a group communicate so impress me. I mean, I believe in all of this technology. I believe in all of the multiple ways to communicate, to bring people under the tent. And I think that this group has shown more leadership in that, as far as reaching out across all of the members, across all of the commissions, far greater than any other segment within IUCN. So I applaud you all for that. I think today is a very important day that you're going to lay the foundation of an action plan that needs to be taken into account by the next council and by the members of IUCN far and wide. Because without your energy, without your thoughts, and without the kinds of action that you can bring to bear, then I'm afraid in 4 years from now, when we meet again, we're going to hear the same kinds of results in terms of environmental and conservation improvement if we don't fully utilize and tap into all of the great ideas and all the energy we have. So I'm afraid I cannot stay this morning because I have to run off and be at a meeting that started 15 minutes ago to figure out the finances of IUCN for the next 4 years. And I do know that with Grace and Dominic and all of your energy here that you're going to have some really great actions that are going to come out of it. And I'm really heartened to see current counselors and counselor candidates here because they need to be strong supporters, and just by their presence here, I know that they are, of this intergenerational partnership and youth engagement. So thank you very much.
So in that finance meeting, make a little plug for an intergenerational fund, yeah? Grace, would you like to offer some welcoming words?
Thank you very much, Dominic, and thank you everyone for coming for this workshop. I'm quite delighted by this turnout for the workshop. Special thanks to the council members who are here. I have served with them in the council for the past 3 years, and I'm quite happy to see that you have turned up for this workshop. I invited each and every one of them. And also the state members that you are here, the members who are here, the seniors who are here with the young people. I'm quite delighted that you have taken this time to come and join us. That shows how much we need to discuss this in IUCN and also in our member organizations. And also thank you very much to the young people who have also turned up, because we are going to do this together, and definitely we need to be changing the way that we are doing things in conservation, not only in IUCN. We are going to have quite an exciting workshop, and I'm really looking forward to what is going to come out of this workshop. I have been in the council for the past 3 years, and I only got introduced to IUCN when I got into the council. I've been doing work with young people in different areas, and I must say that we have just started learning what IUCN is. It's such a complex organization, but it's not just learning about the union, but it's also learning about the strength of the union and what we are able to do together when we are in this union. So it's about how do we strengthen this and ensure that we have a young generation that is prepared to take us to the next level in IUCN and in the conservation community. I'll give the floor now to Dominic, and he's going to sort of give us a recap of what's been happening in the past 4 years on youth engagement in IUCN, and then after that he's going to guide us into what we are going to do next for this workshop. We don't have speeches and presentations that you need to take notes. We just need to have a brainstorming session for the next 2 hours. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Let's jump in. Could you go to the next slide, please? Great. So first, to thank some of the people who helped put this workshop together. It was young people volunteering across all commissions to make it happen. It was a Go for BioDiv effort. We will hear an example from Virena on her work there. IUCN. Oh, can you go back? The IUCN Regional Office for Mesoamerica and the Caribbean, Center for Mediterranean Cooperation, and then Katie Berlando of CEASE, of the Young Professionals Network, deserves special thanks for putting this workshop together. She couldn't be here, but she was central to bringing the proposal forward and bringing it to fruition, really, here. So I worked very closely with Katie, and thank the speakers and your breakout group facilitators. Good. So this is the plan for the next less than 2 hours. I'll talk briefly about achievements and aspirations. Some of you heard the points in the Inheritors Workshop, perhaps, or at the logo launch. So I'll go quickly. Virena will present on Go for BioDiv as an example of IUCN member organization cooperation, and then we'll dedicate a lot of time to the breakout groups. First on union-wide projects, so ones that involve members, secretariat, council, potentially other partners. So look at that union-wide level. And then we'll get an example of commission level work from CEASE. We'll hear from Melanie and potentially Aroha Hamid, the CEASE chair, may be able to come in to support that presentation. So after that example, we'll focus right on commission-specific projects, and then finally a synthesis and next steps. So something I should point out is that if you could just go back one, is that the sources for ideas, we've generated probably 100 different ideas for projects, right? We have a lot of ideas there. The purpose of this workshop is to be strategic and to take a look at those ideas, but zoom in on the ones that are highest leverage. We're going to make the assumption, a realistic assumption unfortunately, that there will be no or little funding to support this work. At the same time, we can have a group that's brainstorming ways to do fundraising. because we've seen that that can be successful. It's brought young people to this conference, this Congress. But let's work with the assumption that we have to be creative, we have to draw on human capital more than financial capital, and we'll push hard for IUCN funding to enhance our efforts. But let's take a creative approach to this. The ideas have come from commission surveys. We surveyed commission chairs, we surveyed commission members. Motion 8 is another source of ideas. This is on the same topic. The Inheritors Workshop that Ashok Khoshla hosted at the beginning of the week, another source. And then other Congress events over the course of this week. We drew all these together into a draft action plan that we are going to narrow down today. So I'll look at the achievements and aspirations briefly, and then we'll get into the breakout groups. Right. Let's see if I can. In Barcelona, we passed a resolution on intergenerational partnership. We use that as a platform for engaging in this work as a lever. And we have a motion in now that builds on that. We've been successful, I think, at the commission level in establishing young professionals networks across all those commissions, increasing the numbers of young people and getting them engaged in what the commission has already identified as priorities. So we're not terribly interested in having a completely segregated youth focus within IUCN, but rather an intergenerational one that says young people have something meaningful to contribute to these processes, some unique offerings that other generations may not have a perspective. And the idea being that each generation has something important to offer to the challenges that we face. So here at the commission level, we have young people on 3 of the commission steering committees. We have Grace was on the council, and several commissions have youth-related awards to recognize achievement. These were all things that we supported and lobbied for. Strategic events, everything from on-the-ground capacity building has happened in various places led by young people, to participation in international workshops, and of course this Congress now. We've published a number of pieces in magazines, and there's a Young Voices publication that's been circulated here at Congress that was put out by Melanie and some of her colleagues. She may even have a copy there. Hold up. Yep. And then a book as well that builds on the CEC Love Not Lost theme, looking at moments that speak, or looking at our connection to nature and the inspiration we can draw from that. And then of course commissioned blogs, newsletters, and young people, we're not just writing about youth, but we're writing about thematic and geographic places, about conservation issues and challenges, and numerous people publishing in academic journals as well. So we have a wiki space that is on the back of your pin. There's the website is there. We thought about having everything on the IUCN website and realized that we could move faster if we had our own decentralized website. The key with the wiki space is that anyone can edit it. It's a horizontal structure where there's no one leader that decides whether something gets published or not. It's a dynamic space. And then the Facebook groups work for each commission to communicate with one another. Good. So what we realized leading up to Congress is that we'd done well in each of the commissions, but that Congress would require us to collaborate across commissions to have the biggest impact possible. And a year ago, we established the task force on intergenerational partnership for sustainability. It numbers over 80 people today, and probably more tomorrow. I hope many of you will consider joining. It's a task force that brings together young people across commissions, senior people, all ages, but also those from the Secretariat, their council members, commission chairs, member organizations, partners, are all welcome. It's a very inclusive task force. And this task force then, we surveyed over 250 commission members to offer input into the IUCN program, and we helped in other ways to, for example, encourage young people to run for council. And as you know, Caroline Siegel, North America and the Caribbean, is on the ballot. That's already a significant success that she's running for councillor. And I hope she gets your vote if you're a member organization. Motion 8 I mentioned is directly related to this workshop, would formalize the task force would get a diversity of generations on the council and steering committees, so youth and elders were emphasized there. Strategic events. This event. This is our culminating strategic event for planning forward. In Barcelona, we were not at this stage. In Barcelona, a few young people were getting to know one another within the IUCN, just the beginnings. And we only started action planning after we'd all left the last Congress. This time, we have a room full of people who are ready to offer their ideas and their strategic thinking to a plan now, so we get a head start. And we communicate that we're ready and that we're moving forward. Good, let's go to this one. So I think it's quite clear, the aspirations, motion 8 gets adopted, it's a resolution. Caroline Siegel gets elected, would be great, that would be a first. Grace was fortunately appointed to council, but if Caroline doesn't get elected, we would be in a lobbying position again to say, please appoint a young person. But the IUCN is democratic, so we've taken this route through the elections. And of course, the action plan will be the container of our aspirations going forward. Just 3 more slides. Based on feedback we've heard from you, we've synthesized a vision for the next 4 years, still evolving. But the vision for this action plan is around intergenerational exchange, learning, and collaboration are appreciated and integral parts of how the IUCN delivers on its vision of a just world that values and conserves nature. So this integration is really key to what we're trying to achieve. And then the mission needs to be shorter, right? It's too long, but these are some of the ideas around strengthening